6 months ago, I picked up this 2005 BMW E46 M3, and it might be the cheapest one in the country, and I bought it wrecked, and since then I spent thousands of dollars fixing it up, modifying it. In today's video, I'm gonna be breaking down every dollar I spent, what I love, what I hate about the car, what surprised me, and let's hop in the car and let's go for a ride. So the real reason I picked up the car is because, check it out, it's got a manual transmission, it was wrecked, and we had the ability to fix it up. So I hit up the guy and gave him a deposit, and then we made a deal happen. And I went over there, picked up the car, got it back home, and it had unexpected frame damage. It had a bunch of stuff that I didn't even expect, but we got it fixed. So after months of working on it, we finally completed it. And after that, I installed a couple modifications. I did lowering springs, I did a dyno intake, I did a dyno short shifter. The car has been great so far. I took it to the track and then I started daily driving it for the past 6 months. Now let's talk a little bit about reliability. I know everybody be saying, oh, rod bearings, throttle actuators, Vano system, subframe cracking, but guess what? I got 147,000 miles right now. I put over 6,000 miles on the car since I got it. No issues whatsoever, except the fuel pump gave up on me, but that's a common thing for higher mileage cars, so that's not even a reliability factor. So I'm at the gas station now, and let's talk about some things no one really talks about, starting with the fuel economy. So let me go through my menu and check what the fuel economy is. I'm averaging about 17.1 miles per gallon, but I'm always kind of, downshifting, giving it some juice. So it's a really fun car. The mileage is not terrible. I would actually recommend this car for anybody that's trying to actually save some money. Before this, I had an E90 M3 and I tuned it up for some extra flames and stuff like that, and it was getting terrible miles per gallon. I think, dude, if I was in the mountains, it was averaging like 10. So this thing's 17, dude. It's like a dream come true. Let's move on to comfort, dude. Check out these cinnamon seats. The comfort's insane. You can actually adjust the bolsters of how tight it actually, like right here, these side bolsters, they're kind of on air suspension, so they'll actually give you a little hug if you need to, or if you're a little bigger guy like me, a little separation is good. I think the rod bearings are still original on the car. There's no sign of subframe cracking whatsoever, so we're in the good. We got to inspect it. Everything seems to be good, and there's no issues with the car. The best part about this car is roads like this, dude. You can just fly through these roads like butter. It handles so good around the corners. There's a reason they say this is the best driving car there is out there, and dude, this thing, look at this. It takes corners like butter, like this is the roads that it's built for right here, and the way it performs is just insane. This thing takes corners so freaking well. The car just drives absolutely insane. It's probably one of the best driving experiences you will have with this car, or with any car. That's in general, any car. This is probably one of the best. You could probably compare it to a Porsche GT3 RS. Now for maintenance costs, there's not much to it. Do your regular oil changes, brakes, filters, and this thing is pretty much bulletproof. I haven't had a single issue with the car as long as you do everything on time. They say 5,000 miles usually, but I do it every 3. And yeah, it's been freaking amazing. No issues, no complaints whatsoever. Now for parts availability, it's getting harder and harder to find parts for the M3 specific car. For an E46, the parts are out there all day, but for M3 specific parts, like let's say the hood, fenders, headlights, stuff like that, hard to find. So it's getting more and more rare, and dealerships are on back order, or some of the parts are completely discontinued. One more thing I will say, this car is a neck breaker. This color pops, and you don't even see the E46 M3 chassis at all anymore. And for the looks, dude, this car has aged very, very well for its age. For example, take a freaking 2005 Audi or Volkswagen, dude, they look completely terrible. This car has aged so well, it still looks like a modern car in today's standards. And the interior is just mind-blowing. For a 2005, it still looks crazy. And if you are in the market for E46 M3, make sure you get the manual transmission, the proper 3 pedals and the shifter right there, because the SMG transmission is completely trash and the manual ones are only going up in value. Now yes, people do say that E46 M3 does not sound the best, which it doesn't, but with the proper exhaust system from dyno and an intake, those flybys sounded pretty good. Stock sounds terrible. So now with the car in the garage, the best part of owning the car is a timeless design, dude. This thing from an 05, they started out in 01. It still looks freaking great in today's standards. With all the ugly cars coming out, especially, I mean, dude, the rear end, the front end, anywhere you look, it looks insane. And the driving experience is one of the best I've ever had in any car, literally. This is literally one of the best cars I've ever driven in my entire life. And the aftermarket support for these cars is freaking great. anything you want aftermarket, halo rings, wheels, tires, suspension, forced induction intakes, exhaust, anything, literally interior bits. This car's so old, everything's already came out for them, so it's freaking perfect if you want to modify it. Also, the reaction of people is insane to this car. I get compliments everywhere I go. Everyone's always breaking their neck at the stop sign, always when I'm passing by, thumbs up, something, so everyone loves the car. One more thing I like about the car, it's only going up in value. It already bottomed out, and with so many of them getting crashed, destroyed, and then collectors collecting them, this car is becoming more and more rare. So if you can get your hands on one of these, I would, because it's only going up in value and you will never lose money on the car. One last thing that I'll mention is, I mean, it's an old car, so you're gonna have those interior creaks and rattles, and you can go through and replace all the clips. That'll definitely help, but it's an old car. It's just something to expect. Whenever I was on the track, about 10% of the cars out there were E46 M3s. That's how you know it's a great driver's car. And there was hundreds of cars out there, so that says a lot. Now let's do an honest price breakdown. So I got the car for $5,000. It was listed up for $7,500. I negotiated with the seller and got him down to $5,000. After the entire rebuild, suspension, fenders, front end stuff, it cost me about $8,500. Then the modifications ran me about $1,500. That includes the wheels, tires, and then some of the sponsored bits like the dyno shifter, dyno intake, did halo rings, the rear diffuser. So altogether, I'm about $10,000 into the full build of the E46 M3, considering I got sponsored on the paint, which was a huge blessing. I'm about $10,000 all in. And the last anticipated question was it all worth it? This entire build, the process, the amount it cost, everything, was it worth it? And the answer is yes. Of course, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, dude, this car is amazing. If you can find one, and if I could find one again for the same price, and if not more, I'd pay 100%. The problem is you just can't find these cars anymore, and they're really rare. So guys, that's a wrap for today's video, and thank you so much for letting me hit 10,000 subscribers. Follow me on Instagram. I'm doing 10 random giveaways, so be sure to follow me on there. And I got a special video coming up. I got some new wheels for the car, a little teaser. And of course, every time I'm trying to make a YouTube video, it starts raining on me out of nowhere. But as I was saying, I ordered these wheels 8 months ago, literally as soon as I got the car. I think the next day I ordered them, put it in my order, and I had a huge problem with the company I was working with, and I'm gonna make an entire dedicated YouTube video in the next video, so stay tuned for that. They kept blue balling me and just telling me like, yo, your wheels are on the way, they're almost here, and month after month, and it turns out it's the wrong color. These are kind of like a darker silver. I ordered a super silver. Forgot what the color name was. Right there, these are Bengal silver. As you can tell, these are like, they're not silver, that's silver right there. These are like gray, like dark. So yeah, it's the freaking wrong wheels. And if you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you have if you're watching the entire video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.